What does that mean to you when I say collective feedback, and how do you use it?
Yeah. So I think about the people around me that I spend the most time with who are aligned and playing for similar things. And they also have their systems and processes where they get feedback. So I can see their numbers as well, because there is a difference between healthy and unhealthy feedback. So the collective means, what is the aggregate? What's the summary? And what are the patterns of what I'm getting from people around me, both explicit and implicit, because people are giving you feedback on you all the time in body language and how they're responding to you, and in the clear things that they're saying to you. So how do I take that all in? And again, if I'm going back to, these are people who are playing for similar things up to what I'm up to, and hold me in a space of love, there is some truth that's coming from each of their perspectives, especially if they're saying a lot of the same thing.
You dropped a whole lot on us there. So I want to go back and just highlight two things. One thing you said is people that are giving me feedback that are holding a space of love for me. And I want you to tie that into the distinction. You said there's a difference between healthy feedback and unhealthy. Share more about what's healthy feedback and unhealthy, because you got to be able to discern it.
Right.
Otherwise it can distort you, and how that connects to people around you who are holding a space for you.
Yes. So when I think about healthy and unhealthy feedback, one way I could break it down is where this feedback is coming from. Take a moment of discernment and assessment and understanding of that source. Does that source have their own measurements and have their own numbers I can look to as far as being held accountable consistently, like a game day and using the app, for instance? Can I look to that? And
I want to interrupt.
yeah,
Where have you seen that in the real world? I mean, as much as I understand the benefits of
yeah.
counseling and therapists, how many counselors and therapists have you seen who will show you their own data about how well they're taking on what they're saying?
Yeah, I can't speak to that too in depth, but I would imagine not so much, that it's not as transparent for a number of reasons. But yeah, that's a really great.
So you said a lot there.
You see, yeah, I have.
I look at the feedback, make sure they have their systems and numbers, and it's transparent. I'm like, what world are you in? what? Here you go, exactly. So what you're saying is that you have that as a coach.
Yes, I do, and I'm very grateful for it.
Fascinating. So let's go back to what we said. 3 things that ground your reality, and if you're not grounding yourself in reality, then you're probably in denial, pretending something's true that's really not.
Yeah.
And when you're in denial, you think something's true that's not, you don't get it. You get the result because you think it's true and it's not happening. Very, very unhealthy place to be.
Yeah.
Very confusing. So 3 things you said: checking in with yourself because you're taking time to trust yourself. You said some kind of system or data that gives you collective healthy feedback, and getting further feedback from a collective group of people who are using similar systems. And you can see that they've gotten a greater result or a powerful result as a result of trusting the process.
Yeah.
So when you put those 3 together, continue.
Okay, so when you put those 3 together, then I feel like that's the point where I pause and lean into the feedback. Even if I don't like it, which sometimes we might not. And I guess that first threshold, and one great lesson for me, is regardless of the feedback, even if it's healthy or unhealthy, it could be trash feedback that I'm not going to do anything with. How can I at least be grateful for it? So how do I practice that literal thank you? Thank you, because it's giving me some opportunity, right, to look at something, even if it's feedback I'm going to take or not. So thank you, and then how am I going to choose to move forward with this? And so in the case of feedback that's coming from a source that, as I said earlier, holds me in love, I trust, the summation of this person or person's character is that which I'm inspired by.
Really? That they hold themselves in love. That's the difference, because like, this should hold me in love and you in love, and I hold himself in love.
Right.
And that gives a different kind of feedback. Exactly, and that's a different feedback too.
When the ego wants to stay busy and do all the things.
Because it wants to stay busy.
Welcome. My name is Coach Day, and I'm the architect of the Your Day Balance Game, also known as the YDBG, where the objective is to make every day your day. Now, if you really enjoyed that video, then press that button and subscribe, and also hit that notification, because every week when we release these videos, we can learn how to go from codependent to true independent, so you start living the life that you're truly worth. I look forward to seeing the game, and remember, make every day your day.